My name is Linda Kantor, and I am a psychologist and mindfulness teacher based in Cape Town, South Africa. And I'm welcoming you into the space of looking into what for me is the heart of mindfulness practice, the development of kindness and compassion. And so as we move into this exploration, I invite you to place a hand on the heart to make contact with the space of the heart. The teacher John Kabat-Zinn speaks about this practice being an act of love. And so you might, as you allow the eyes to close, just sense into the body and sense what it might feel like to invite this act of love, this act of noticing what is here with kindness, allowing a relaxing into your natural breathing. And as you feel that natural breathing, just meeting the breath and the heart with a sense of tenderness. And of course, as we do this, you might find that we erect barriers towards ourselves and towards that space of kindness towards ourselves. Very often people speak about kindness and refer to their capacity to be able to be kind to others. And yet it's hard for us in the Western world to bring kindness towards ourselves. In fact, in some of the original conversations with the Dalai Lama, when Western scientists were speaking to him about the issues that people in the West have about self-esteem, he found it really hard to understand because in Buddhist understandings of kindness and compassion, one cannot be kind unless one is including oneself in that kindness. So the first step is to maybe just sense inside of ourselves where we erect barriers, where we maybe judge ourselves or place high expectations on ourselves, or perhaps the places where we might compare ourselves to other people. And seeing if just in this moment, it's possible to bring some kindness to whatever is here, whatever you discover. The Dalai Lama also speaks about how his religion is kindness. And that religion of kindness actually is a practice. It requires the watering of the capacity to be kind towards ourselves. So the Dalai Lama speaks about our own brain, our own heart. Our own heart is the temple, and that is the temple for kindness. And that's not always so easy, especially when we start to look at bringing kindness to areas of suffering, both inside of ourselves and kindness to the suffering of others. When we meet suffering with kindness, we call this compassion. And compassion is really the response to the wish to alleviate suffering. And Pema Chodron, the teacher Pema Chodron, speaks about how kindness and compassion is actually even more of a challenge because it requires that turning towards pain. And we have no better example in our own history in South Africa of that of Nelson Mandela and his capacity to turn towards his own suffering and also to turn towards the others that imprisoned him with a sense of compassion and forgiveness. He said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. So people must learn to hate. And if they can learn to hate, they can surely be taught to love, because love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite." And so there's a trusting in these practices of our capacity for goodness, our capacity for kindness, our capacity to meet what is here, even if it is suffering, with tenderness. And the research shows that people who have self-compassion, who can meet their own suffering with kindness, they have increased life satisfaction, more capacity for happiness, even improvements on physical health. So there's a lot pointing to the benefits of really taking time to develop these practices. And so ultimately, this is what the practice is about. As Derek Walcott says in his poem, Love After Love, take down the desperate notes, take down the love letters, and sit, feast on your life. And so that's my invitation as we close today, is just to, again, with a hand on the heart, meeting yourself with that sense of love. Thank you.